It's nearly a year since the death of Stuart Challender, and the Sydney Symphony Orchestra is still without a chief conductor. An international search is underway, but with top conductors booked well in advance, it could be some time before a replacement is found. As Paul White reports, the orchestra plays on.
We all felt very sort of lost, and as though our direction had suddenly disappeared.
It leaves quite a hole in the actual fabric of the organisation, because he is the man where the responsibility ends as far as musical decisions and the handling of individual personalities in the orchestra are concerned.
When you have a chief conductor, you get an identity with that person. As an orchestra, you feel that there is a father figure of some sense. You know, it doesn't have to be an old person, of course, but you do have an identity which, whenever that man appears on the rostrum, immediately appears in the sound. And with the passing of such a person, that sound goes.
Yes, everybody's really trying to do it, but it makes it too short now.
When a conductor dies, his recorded music lives on, but the orchestra is never the same. The loss of Stuart Challender was doubly great. The Sydney Symphony Orchestra lost both a musical genius and a maestro who'd taken the sounds of his orchestra onto the international stage. Now the musicians are on their own.
I believe that they're still playing extremely well, and Stuart's legacy is enormous. But I think that if we go for much longer without a chief conductor, things will start to drift. There won't be someone who's there as the figurehead in the orchestra saying, this is what we're working towards, this is what we believe in.
So the search is on for a maestro. It won't be easy, and it won't be cheap. A top conductor will earn between $150,000 and $300,000 for a 4-month stint in Australia, and competition among the world's orchestras is fierce.
The world is small. There are basically more good orchestras than good conductors, and at any one time there are probably a half a dozen orchestras of the standard of the Sydney Symphony looking for a chief conductor.
Yesterday, members of the orchestra were told they'd be working with more than 20 visiting conductors next year, all possible candidates for the post of chief.
We very carefully went through lots of names of conductors who've been here in the past.
None of them are Australian. The fact is, no local is regarded as good enough to replace Challender. The conductors will come from a dozen countries in Eastern and Western Europe, Britain and the United States. They'll be looking at us, and we'll be looking at them in what amounts to a year-long audition.
One tries to avoid the idea that the next contender will have a number on his or her back, and that there's a voting routine. But ostensibly, that's what happens.
Hey, you're not registering it. Subito mezzo piano. Is it bad in the part? I'm practically killing myself to look like a conductor at that point. Nothing's happening.
So what makes a good conductor? Vernon Handley is one of Britain's most popular and has just been appointed principal guest with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra.
We're told that it's a matter of chemistry. I think that it probably is something that is analysable, but nobody has ever actually analysed it. With a certain orchestra, a conductor will get on very well. They will strike up a rapport which will lead on to greater things, mature things. That same conductor with a different orchestra won't hit it off at all.
It's incredible what a difference can make when you have a bad conductor or not such a good conductor. How different the orchestra can sound like a totally different group to when you have a very good conductor.
I don't understand what it is. It's sometimes how he holds his arms, sometimes the visual contact that he has with them. But it's the personality can somehow miraculously transform the sound. It can be harsh or violent, or it can be mellifluous and warm.
Hey, you're a bar early. I'll bring you in. Here you come. Get ready. Are you ready? Here I come. Didn't keep you up there too long?
Oh, I'm the anti-conductor. Yes, I'm I hate the whole position of the maestro. The maestro really is a mad position. And I think that conductors are divided sharply between those people who are searching for credit and glory the whole time, and those who literally just want to make music with their players and hope that people will listen. Because if you think about it, no matter how flamboyant or wonderful looking a conductor is, the blind man in the audience has got to listen.
The purists argue it's the music that matters, but others believe a conductor's public persona is just as important to the strength of an orchestra.
As much as one can say, oh, of course, it's all about how well they conduct. The fact is, you know, if you look at the big tribe of conductors, they look reasonably good. You know, they looked like conductors. They had that sort of romantic visage about them.
Whoever gets the job may well have his salary topped up with money left in Stuart Challender's will. The chief conductor wanted the cash-starved orchestra to always be able to attract the best. Indeed, Challender's successor will know he has a tough act to follow.